You know, in today's world, we have the most sophisticated technology that literally can automate anything. I mean, from my calendars, they speak to each other. I have them all connected. I've got a client scheduling link where clients can go and schedule meetings with me, or prospects can schedule meetings with me, and it pulls time off my calendar. My wife has access to my calendar if she needs to schedule something that I need to be at that's, regarding my family or a doctor's appointment or somewhere I need to be. It blocks that off so a client can't access that time, and vice versa. And in modern day technology, you can automate anything. We have watches that can tell us where to be and what time to be there. But yet we still continually, in my perspective, run late to meetings and waste time in meetings. So here's my question and a challenge. Is it time management or priority management? If you're watching this right now, I know you're educated. I know that you're a successful or aspiring business owner. So I know it's not a matter of knowing, what to do. It's how to do it. So my goal in the next few minutes, just to give you a few tips that I have learned over the years, and we teach to clients and folks that we mentor to help take control in this area. Now, number one, it's more important to make a list of things to stop doing than it is to make a list of to-dos. So think about it. If you were to audit your time from Monday morning, the time your feet hit the ground, to Friday when you leave the office, every single minute, every single thing that you do, every task, every single meeting, every phone call, if you were to audit that, I would say within high certainty, 90% accuracy, 60% of your time is not in alignment with what your core mission is. So think about that. What is your core mission? Well, if you're growing a business, you have revenue goals. If you're building a team, you need to recruit talent, right? If you're launching a new marketing campaign, you need to make sure that you're focusing to get that off the ground to make the phone ring or leads come in through your lead magnet campaign. Whatever it is, think about it. Are you spending time in that core area? And I would say no. And that's not just saying that you're unorganized. Trust me, that's not what I'm saying. And I can say this because I've done the same thing. As individuals and business owners, we have so many people pulling at us. We have clients needing us. We have team members needing us. If you have a family, you have demands at home. And I'm just saying that if you're not intentional and you're not focused in the areas that align with what your core mission is, you will just be treading water. My recommendation, and one of my tips would be, is to list those things. Anytime you're doing something that you feel is outside of that, make a list of it. At the end of a week, look at the list. Now, can you cut that list in half the next week? If there were 8 things that you did in one week that didn't align with those core areas, next week, could you just limit that to 4? Now, how are you going to do this? You say, well, I can't stop doing those other 4. Yes, you can. You can call those individuals, whether it's an organization that you're just not really needing to be involved with, let them know, hey, I love your organization. I definitely want to be a part. It's just not the right time for me where I'm at in my business right now. And when I can get to that right time, I would love to get back involved. They will respect that, I promise. Just be upfront and honest with people. People love honesty. I've learned a long time ago, no one can get mad at you for telling the truth. And if you just tell them the truth that right now that it doesn't align with where you need to be focusing, they'll understand. So the next week you've cut those items down from 8 to 4. Man, you've just gotten 50% of that 60 back. You just created margin in your week. So here's the next thing. Make sure that you have a list of those things that are your priorities. Now, depending on your faith, I think that needs to be number 1. Number 2, I would say your family. Your family needs to be very important. Make sure that you're spending time with your kids, especially if they're young. It's a very, very impressionable age. Kids spell love, T-I-M-E. Make sure you're going to lunch with your kids. Make sure you take some time off to go surprise them at the bus stop. Spend some time with them. Obviously with your spouse, make sure you're being intentional with your spouse. Something I love to do is taking my wife on some date lunches, or just kind of being able to have some margin during the week to do that. And then I would also say, spend some time and being able to reflect, not necessarily going off the grid, but what are some areas or some places that you can go to still be connected, still be working, but also have some margin to reflect and journal and think and have clarity. Whether it's the gym, that's a great place. Or maybe a local coffee shop where you can just slip away for a few hours a week. Maybe it's a local library where you can just go and find a nice, comfortable spot to sit down, get some work done, have some quiet time. I think it's very, very important. And also make sure that you're being intentional about your meetings with your team. Have a meeting schedule. Make sure they're effective, efficient, start on time and end on time. If you can learn what to say no to and create that margin, don't take away all 8 in the beginning, just take away half of them. If you only have 4 areas, just take away 2. You'll get so much traction out of that. Now make sure you're spending that time in the other areas that you need to be spending time in, growing your business, spending time with your family, and you will have margin and time in your schedule to be where you need to be early. You'll have more effective meetings, your mind will be more clear, and the train will run on schedule a lot more. It just really, really works. There was a time in my life I was so guilty of being constantly late. You know, I would literally, if I needed to be somewhere and I knew that a meeting started, I needed to be in a meeting in 20 minutes, it wouldn't even cross my mind that, well, I have to stop doing something that takes 5 minutes, and I got to get my car that takes 3 minutes, then I have to travel that takes however long depending on traffic. Plan for that. Create margin. If you need to be somewhere, make sure you double that time. You know, if you're not 15 minutes early or late, be there on time, end on time, respect others, and they will respect yours. So I know this was a lot, and I kind of bounced around in a lot of different places. But my point is this: I don't believe we have time management issues. We're educated people. We have all this technology. It's very simple. We know how to put things on a calendar or have a calendar automated for us. But it's a matter of what's important. And if you don't spend your time in those areas that are important, it's a priority management issue, because you're going to constantly run late to the things that don't matter to you. It's a great book. I highly recommend reading it by one of my mentors, John Maxwell. It's called Living an Intentional Life. I believe John's written about 95 books at this point in time. They're all amazing books. But this one just really talks about living an intentional life. Not only living an intentional life in your family and areas of faith, but also in your areas of business. Because when you hit that core area, the money will be there, the clients will be there, and you'll have time to grow and develop and just connect with those people that matter. I hope this spoke to you. Have a great week and to your success.